Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to Fantabulous. What do we have today? We have a cute little Italian leather crossbody top zip with pleats and adjustable shoulder strap. And we're going to do some sketching today. So let's put this fellow over here. We'll grab our handy dandy tape measure and give ourselves some idea of our proportions. So we have 7. The top is 7, so it's a little bit of a squarish thing. And let's see, we have a little bit of around the bottoms. It's got like a little bit of a, so it's 4, okay? And this should be about 6 or 7. Okay, very good. Okay, the crossbody is usually about 22 inches from the top of the bag to the top of the shoulder strap, and then about an 8-inch return. The return is actually the measurement from where they send the packaged item finished from the buckle all the way down to the ring, the adjustment ring. So that's called the return. Okay, so we're not going to do that because we know what it is. Generally speaking, it's a standard. So now we're going to grab our paper. And we said it was 7, so we can go from 7 to 7 and 7. All right. I'm going to do 7 centimeters. Just give ourselves a little bit of an idea. Maybe a little bit more down. We want to make sure that we have enough room on the paper. That's the most important thing. Okay, so when you're drawing a 22-inch drop, you're not going to be able to fill it in on the paper because it's going to be too long. So let's start out by doing our top, which we also measured at about 7. So we're going to give ourselves that so that our proportions are close. So we got that in there. Okay, so now we're going to do our top. And there. Now, this little puppy has a zip top, so we want to indicate that. You might just like make a little indication of a zipper pull at the top of your bag. So now next we're going to do, it has a top collar, and then it has, it's a nice top little collar. It's a little Italian bag. It's kind of cute. It's got a little poofy butt going on there. So I'm going to make it go down. And we want to be accurate. So, okay, so we're going to count. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pleats. So we're going to do that. So we're going to have a pleat here. 1. I want to make sure our pleats look like pleats. 2. Okay. It might not be the most even pleats in the world because once they open, they start to look a little bit floopy. Okay, so now we have our pleats in there, and we can do our little shaggy daggy things over here just to make sure that people know that they're pleats. Okay. When we do this on the computer, we will most certainly add shadowing. I think I got a little bit too exaggerated with the tush part over here, so let's just keep that in a nice little tonality there. Okay, it has a side seam, so we want to make sure we add that, and here we'll add a little bit 3-dimensional look to it. Okay, so next we have a little bit of a kind of a rivet, large rivet detail here, so we're going to do that also here. Want to make sure that we have all our details. It has a ring for the strap, so we're going to do that on both sides. Going to add our ring and a silver kind of a brushed kind of a silver thing. Okay, now we're going to do the shoulder strap. It's going to be pretty long. So what I usually do is I just give myself some kind of crazy thing like this so that they know that we're dealing with a crossbody. Crossbody is a bag that the strap starts at your shoulder and it goes to the opposing hip, and the bag usually rests on the opposing hip. So that's why it's called a crossbody, because it goes across your body from, for example, the left shoulder to the right hip, etc. Okay, so now we're going to give ourselves the return, which is where the buckle ends. It's about 8 inches. I'm going to give ourselves a little there. And then we're going to have our second there. It's all leather, and it has, I think that's like edge stain. It's not really edge paint. It's a very thin kind of paint there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add our shoulder straps and our edge stain area. And we're going to do that to this side as well. All right, very carefully. And now the other side. Okay, so this side, it also turns up and it has a rivet. So I'm going to put that rivet there. Make this ring go around. Okay, so now we have more or less our poofy little bag. So what do we do now? We go to our inking stage. Brush pen, my favorite. You can use other things, but you should use a thicker marker for the outer edge so that it gives it more of a three-dimensional look. This is like cheap Chinese stuff. Works pretty well. It doesn't stink and it doesn't streak. So you can also use Tombow, which is a very good brand. I used to use those at FIT. Couldn't find some recently, so I got these. Okay, so here we go. Going around our edge. So we want to make a very heavy quality line so that people know that this is the outer edge of the shoulder strap or any outer edge you're doing on your bag. So we're going to go all the way around the contour of the bag. Wherever there is a hardware detail also should be with a nice thick quality line. Okay. All around, all around, all around. All right, so I can go this way. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do this. And around here. So this is the opening of our bag, so we also go around there. Okay, so when you're dealing with pleats, you do want to add a little bit of depth to the pleat. So very gently with the tip of your brush pen, you give it a little bit of a rump there. There. Now, we're going to go over this again, but with the lighter pen. So now we're off, moving on to our precision fine line. Now we're going to go over all our details. So again, put that there, and let's try it. Any small detail with the precision. This is a pilot pen. Any type of fine line pen will do as long as it doesn't streak or smear. You can use anything. Now, go this way, and now any leather details that have raw edge, you have to represent that on your sketch. Make sure you close all lines and that everything is taken care of in terms of seaming. You don't want to make any omissions, because if your sketch is going to be used as a spec, which many times it is, any omission, either the factory will come back and say, what's this? Or worse, they'll try to guess what the omission is, and you could get into a whole lot of crazy things with production. So best to be very, very careful and do all of your appropriate lines and sketches and everything, because you don't want the factory to have to guess anything or ask you too many questions, and or worse, not ask you too many questions and then come back with a product that the buyer is going to say, what on earth is this? Because you will never hear the end of it. But anyway, or you'll get fired. Either or. You don't want that to happen. Okay, so here. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it happens. Okay, let's see. Okay, and now let's go down to the other side now. Also, obviously, when you're doing spec documentation, you'll have to spell all this out. So it's going to come out someplace, but it's better that it's everywhere, that it's appropriately documented in the sketch as well as in the documentation of your specs. Okay, so now, that didn't come out too well. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we're going to do an edge here because this is a turned in edge. And you want to make sure that that is shown. A turned in edge usually is the same color, but it does have a seam line. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do our... I want to make sure that people know that we're dealing with some kind of voluminous pleats, and you represent that in your sketch. Okay, so now sketch is done. What do we need? Well, we can do two things. We can just take this little sketch as is and erase all our pencil marks and go to the scanner, or we can add our top stitching now. You could do the top stitching on the computer or on the sketch. My preference is to always do it on the sketch, but that's really up to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our bag and see where we have top stitching. We have top stitching around here, this handle and the top edge. Everything else is a turned in edge, which means there's no top stitching on it. It's kind of very artsy looking. It's an Italian bag that my mom gave me many moons ago. So here we go. We're going to go back and add top stitching where it is, because we're pretending this is for a spec, and that's what we're practicing for. Okay, here we go. Go, 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 go. And we make all our little sketch marks here. And stitching details are in there. Okay, now again, stitching on the shoulder strap. Down, 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 down. And stitching on the shoulder strap. Sometimes it'll disappear into folds, which there's nothing you can do about that. Just, you know, try to keep things as carefully as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Let me get myself in the mood. You can see what I'm doing. Okay, more. All right. We're getting someplace now. Always make sure that your work spot is somewhat neat and clean and that small children don't have access to it. Okay, so once you're done, and this has a lot of top stitching on the shoulder strap because it's, like I said, it's a crossbody shoulder strap, which means it's going to be extra long. All right, we're almost there. And what we will do, our next episode, is go to the computer and colorize this with a smooth leather finish. And this is going to have a lot more shadowing. So we're done. So now what do? We grab our Pentel eraser. You could use this or a kneaded eraser. And we're going to erase extra spots. All our pencil marks, all our guides that we used initially to figure out what size we were doing. Okay, there we go. Once we're done here, we can take it to the scanner. Oh, missed my initial mark there. Okay, and there you have it. Teeny little crossbody top zip. Okay, hope you enjoyed this episode, and see you soon. Bye.